I felt very inspired this morning. We're still in February. We are still in full ass February. I'm not giving up on this month. I'm not giving up on you, and I'm not giving up on myself. So I thought I would jump on and just throw out some random thoughts that I've been having about beliefs and limitations and fear and rejection, because that has been kind of at the front runner of my life of, just asking myself those questions of like, if you believed this about yourself, where would that actually lead you? And I just listened to this podcast with Ed Millett. If you don't listen to his podcast, highly, highly recommend. Obviously, listen and to subscribe to my podcast first, but then listen to his, because he had guest star Jamie Kern-Lima on. She is the founder of the It Cosmetics, and it was so good. It was just like listen to it, please listen to it, because she talked about authenticity over what other people want for you. And I think that as we're entering full ass February, one of the things that I know is that there's ways of improving your life, and everybody's going to have an opinion for you. And I'm going to have an opinion for you. And the important thing about healing and the important thing about changing your life comes down to having that thing align with you. Because when you're trying to force something and you're trying to push something that isn't resonating with your soul, it's not going to work anyway. So part of this process of full ass February and part of this process of improving your life is about getting really, really clear on who am I in all of this? What things am I drawn to? There have been times where I've been a heavy meditator. There's been times where I haven't meditated at all. There are times where I'm a heavy writer. There are times when I couldn't tell you the last time I picked up a pen and paper. The moral of the story is that each phase of your life, different things are going to resonate with you. Different coping skills, different people, different places, different healing modalities. And it's your job to not say, oh, well, this person said this is the best fit and this works every time. And if I'm not doing this, I'm wrong. And if I'm not hustling or pushing or forcing or whatever, that I'm not doing it right. At the end of the day, the thing that's going to work for you is whatever works for you. The thing that's going to work for you is that thing that you're drawn towards, that you're curious about. And I think that that's so important here, is that nobody else has the right answer for your life. Not me, not anybody else. There are things that I can recommend that have worked for me that sometimes work for other people. But at the end of the day, part of full ass February is getting clear about who you are and what works for you. So getting clear about your intention, getting clear about what you want for your life and for yourself. And then I think the thing that I've been working through personally is not only getting clear about what your dreams are, what your hopes for yourself are, being honest also about the true, deep-seated limiting beliefs that you have around why you can't get there. I know I talked about limiting beliefs last week, or the last time I checked in as alive, but man, are there stories like, I could be more successful, but I don't have the connections. I could be more successful, but I don't have the finances. I could be this or I could be that, but I don't have whatever that is. What are the narratives that you're running that you don't even realize you're running because they're so standard for yourself? This is something that is important to be just thinking about, because the reality is that the only way you're getting to where you want to go is if you believe that you can get there. And I wholeheartedly believe that you cannot get somewhere without the belief that it's possible for you. So what does it take? What is the story you need to tell yourself about who you are? What is the story you need to tell yourself about what's possible for you to be able to get there? So I think part of pushing through those blocks and truly facing whatever it is that you're up against is the idea that you have to deeply believe it and revisit it daily. You have to revisit what it is you see for yourself. You have to revisit that vision, which is why visualization is so powerful, which is why manifestation is so powerful, because what you're doing is you're rewriting the narrative of like, I want this, and oh yeah, I can have it. Not getting overrode by old stories, old narratives, not getting overrode by old ideas, not getting overrode by old patterns of behavior that contradict what you want. It's about seeing what you want and going for it, and seeing what you want daily, so that as these things come up, you can say, no, I'm somebody who wants more for myself. I'm somebody who chooses happiness. I'm somebody who's not going back to that job because it's easy. I'm not going back to that relationship because it's comfortable. I'm not going back because I'm afraid to go forward. That is the beauty of manifestation. That is the beauty of committing to yourself. And that is the beauty of Full Ass February, because you are staring your dreams in the face and you're saying, okay, this is what I want for myself. And all of the things that are coming up throughout the day, they're just potential roadblocks, and I don't have to listen to them anymore. And this is where we're going. I was trying to think of like a cool alliteration for for March. So if you guys have one, drop it below. But thinking about yourself, thinking about your dreams, thinking about the things that are stopping you within you, because that's the reality, is nothing really stops you from outside of you. And I was listening to this podcast this morning, and she was talking about rejection. And rejection is something like that I just personally have had to work on over the years, because if somebody tells me no, I cry. I'm a Cancer, and that's just what I do, is I don't take that well. I don't take criticism well, and that's something that I'm working on throughout my life. And somebody posed the challenge to me of like, I want you to get 100 rejections. And what happens if we normalize rejection? What happens if we allow that to be part of our process and make it so it doesn't hold as much weight? And so I'll challenge you today in your Full Ass February that whatever goal you're pursuing, like, I want it to be okay that you get rejected. I want it to, whether it's job applications, whether it's dating, whether it's that book you're trying to write, whatever that is, I want you to be okay with having somebody else who doesn't love it. Because what that's going to do is it's going to make you a little fearless in the pursuit of what is setting you up for feeling on fire for your life, what is setting you up for feeling good in your life. Because here's the thing, is nobody's going to tell you how to do it. You're the only person who knows, and I just deeply, wholeheartedly believe that our soul does not skip a beat in guiding us. I don't. There's nothing you can say to me that's like, no, my soul went quiet for a while. It doesn't go quiet. You either don't listen to it or you do. But your choice right now is to make your life better. Your choice right now is to go after what you want. And your choice right now is to give yourself permission for other people to not love that. And it's scary, but the more we do it, the more we come up against it, the more we have these empowered moments of like, okay, that's okay. That person doesn't have to love me. Not everybody has to love me. Not everybody has to see my vision for my life. Not everybody has to be on board with the things that feel good and right for me, but I have to hold on tight to the things that feel good and right for me, knowing that they're leading me to where I'm supposed to go. It's so funny because like I said, I loved this podcast, and one of the things she said, and I'm hoping I'm going to quote this right, but she was talking about, sometimes we just feel so incapable of reaching our dreams, and we feel so unqualified to do so. Like, who would choose me to do that and be this bigger person in my life and follow my dreams and create this massive impact? Like, who am I to do that? And she said that, God doesn't call the qualified. He qualifies the unqualified. And so it's not about having all the things prepared for you and laid out in front of you and handed to you. It's about feeling that calling so deep that you trust the universe to support you in it. And if you're true to it, and if you're honest with it, and if you attach yourself to it daily and you call on that daily, then you're getting into this place where you're able to surpass rejection, and you're able to surpass criticism, and you're able to listen to that next little nudge. If you've ever seen Frozen 2, there's this song, I think it's called like The Next Right Thing. And it's my like personal mantra for myself of just, you don't have to know what the whole staircase looks like. You just have to know the next right nudge. And that's how intuition works. That's how your truth works. That's how your truth speaks to you. It doesn't say, okay, first you're going to, take a right here and you're going to take a left here. It's the turn by turn directions of your life. That's your inner knowing. That's your intuition. And so when we start to get good at listening to that, because a lot of times people will listen to the first nudge and not the second or third, fourth, or fifth. They will listen to that initial nudge and they're like, well, I don't understand. I'm here and there's nothing here. But the reality is you stopped listening after the first step. You stopped listening after you took that first risk. And the thing is intuition, again, is a guided stair step. And I think it's funny because when I talk to people and we're doing, soul therapy sessions, a lot of people want to see the whole staircase. They want to know what's coming. They want to know everything. But the reality is that our life works in such a different way than we're taught it works. We get that job not because that's our final destination, although we like to believe that's what it is. We get that job to meet the person who's going to connect us with the other person, or who's going to give us the other opportunity, or who's going to invite us into a different plan of action. We get these opportunities for our next step, and we need them. So sometimes things are actually quite insignificant in the grand scheme of our lives, but we made the connection we needed to make. We learned the knowledge we needed to learn to get to our next step. So we can't get out of the present moment of valuing what's in front of us and the purpose and intention of everything that's here, because it's important. So even the stuff that feels really freaking unimportant, it's necessary. You need it. You need it. There's something here for you. And so don't forget your power of connecting with the universe, and don't forget your power and intention of just saying, okay, I know there's something here for me. I'm ready to uncover it. Make it playful. Make it fun. Like, let's freaking have more fun. Why are we not having more fun? I'm so bored of like being serious and like taking things too seriously. Like, what if we were just always finding a way to have fun? What if we always were just approaching situations with the mindset of like, how am I going to make this fun for myself? What am I going to do? Like, I'm so obnoxious on the way driving my kids to school, and I've been really on this. So Kygo made this, I don't even know if that's the correct pronunciation, so bear with me, Kygo, Kygo, I don't know. Anyway, made this remix of Higher Love with Whitney Houston's Higher Love. It's just like this fun, like upbeat, but it throws me back to like my childhood when that was like more popular. So I'm like obnoxious jamming every morning to the same song. My kids are so sick of it, but it's just like, how am I gonna have fun at 6 a.m. now that I've got to wake up a little earlier because my kids' school got moved up? Anyway, but how are you gonna make your life more fun? And I think one of the ways you can do it is like, we get so deeply emotionally, negatively invested in things. Like, one small thing in our life goes wrong and we're like, oh, it's the freaking worst. Like, I just can't even. But if we come back to this present moment and we say, okay, there's gotta be something here. I don't believe that things happen without a reason for it. I don't know what that is. And maybe I'm inviting that universe, God, whatever, to show me what that reason is, to show me what that's about. But I'm gonna take it more from an observer standpoint. And I'm not saying don't have emotions or don't process your emotions. I cry a lot. I just said that at the beginning of the live. Like, it's okay to accept your emotions and work through them and understand them and hug on them and love on them. And sometimes I'll just have a night where I cry and, right? Or, just get that out and explore that within myself. But for the most part, like, what if we're just like, okay, that happened. I see it. I accept it. I don't understand it, but I'm allowing it to show me what it needs to show me within myself, what it needs to unlock within me, what it needs to do for me in my life. And I hate to keep referencing this podcast, but again, you need to listen to it. But she was talking about, she's the owner of It Cosmetics, or founder of It Cosmetics, and she was like down to her last $1,000. And she was pitching this major corporation. This was like her chance. And the guy, her whole thing was like, she had rosacea and was trying to find a cosmetic to cover that. And she created it because there was nothing that was working for her. So she was trying to pitch this company of like real women with real skin issues in one of the major corporations. And her, like, what she thought was her last leg, she was like, I really want this, and I want women like me to be featured on it. Like, I want it to be real women. And he was like, honestly, you're just not what America wants to look at. And he, like, shot to the heart, really took her down with that. And she's like, I cried for 3 days about it. And she held her vision that this is what needs to be done. This is what my company needs to look like. It needs to be real women. And so she let that, hit her hard. But now that man actually works for her. He retired whatever position and he works for that foundation. And so it was just this full circle moment of, again, rejection and accepting, embracing, again, understanding that it has a role in either things can take you out and take you out of yourself, or things can push you deeper inside of yourself to reemerge into something better. So make that choice. If you've got something that's just been taking you out lately, make that choice of like, am I gonna let this take me out, or am I going to step up in my life? Am I gonna say, okay, wow, that was awful. What is it gonna do for me? What am I gonna do with this? And you might need to cry that out, but like, how is this going to ensure my truth within myself? And that's a part, and again, if you've had sessions with me, I'll always talk about this. Come back to yourself. Put your hand on your heart. Put your hand on your heart and you close your eyes and you take a deep breath and you remember who the hell you are. Remember that you are this. You aren't the exception. There's no exception to God's rule or the universe's rule of what is true about your power. You are the extension of the universal source energy. You have that magic of stardust in you, and you are a co-creator of the universe and within your universe. And if you just stop worrying and trying to control everything and take just a step back, take a deep breath, close your eyes and remind yourself of who the hell you are, it's a game changer. Because you stop trying to control the little shit that doesn't matter, the little stuff that wasn't supposed to be a big deal. And you start focusing on the bigger thing that, okay, this happened, but what do I really want? What do I want? What do I see for myself? What feels true and right for me? What am I going to do with it? So today is about re-embracing full ass February for yourself, redeciding how do you want to feel through all of it, because I think that's the most powerful manifestation of all of it is how are you going to feel? What are you going to do with it? How are you going to show up for yourself today? One of the things that I've been really consistent on and that has made such a huge difference in my last 2 months is that I cut out sugar. I would say 90% success rate, but I'll tell you what, like last night we went out to dinner and I had stuff that I haven't been eating, and I woke up this morning, I'm like, my brain is not working because cutting out sugar has made me feel so freaking good. I feel very energized. I feel very vital. I feel very creative. I feel more like myself. So what is that one thing you need to commit to? What is that one practice you can implement? And again, we don't have to make anybody else's rules. You don't have to cut out sugar with me. You don't have to do whatever. What I want you to do though is find that one thing today that you can say, this is how I show up for myself. This is my full ass February. This is something I deeply want and I see for myself and I see the vision, and I'm going to listen to myself to know what the next right move is so that I can be successful and I can be on point with the things that are most important and vital to me. So make that choice today. Feel into that. Feel into those limiting beliefs that are popping up of, okay, well, I don't have this, I don't have that. It doesn't matter what you have right now. You are called. That's what matters. You are called. The things that you need will show up as they are designed to show up in your life. You don't have to figure it out. You don't have to have all the pieces. You just have to have that gut feeling, that calling, that knowing inside of you that is guiding you, directing you, and you have to be true to that and not try to put it into, I talked last week on my podcast about you can't look at a box of another person's Lego set with the pieces that you gathered and try to make that picture. Like, you can't be looking at other people's boxes. That sounds dirty, but it's not meant to be. But you can't be looking at other people's boxes and try to be building the same thing. That's not your design. That's somebody else's design. What is your design? What are your pieces? And you might not know all of them, but you at least know some. So your job, again, is to dive full ass into this February. We still have a few days left, and I'm not giving up on you. And I expect and anticipate you will not be giving up on yourself. So make sure to drop some thoughts below. Let me know you're still in. Let me know you're still here. Let me know you're still showing up for yourself. And if it's been a little slacky, perfect time to jump back on. We've got a full moon coming up. It's going to just amplify all those good intentions. So be clear. Be clear. Write it down. Explore it, ask yourself those hard questions, and see what shows up. I love you guys. Let me know if you need anything from me. I'm currently working on getting the comeback course that I did live as a standalone course, so you guys will have access to that soon. So I'm excited. Make sure you're subscribed to my podcast because I have so many good guests coming up on it, and you're gonna love it. Rock Your Soul. It's on iTunes. It's on Apple Podcast, Spotify, Google Play, pretty much everywhere. But I love you all. I'm sending you all good vibes, good energy, and a bunch of light for a wonderful, wonderful Thursday. Bye.